Kaylee Anthony was just 2 years old when police say she was murdered by her own mother, Casey, who has spent the last 7 months in jail awaiting trial. This morning, Kaylee's grandparents, Casey's parents, are here for an exclusive interview just days after learning that their daughter now faces the death penalty. Welcome back to the early show. Casey Anthony has pleaded not guilty and has so far maintained her family's unflinching support, even in the face of mounting evidence of a horrific crime.
Mama, Papa.
Kaylee Anthony was just 2 years old when she disappeared last summer. Her mom, Casey, said Kaylee had been left with a babysitter in June, but by July, it was Casey's mother, Cindy, who first called police.
There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Forensic tests on Casey's car revealed the presence of chloroform, hair matching Kaylee's, and evidence of human decomposition. Casey Anthony was arrested for child neglect. From jail, she held out hope Kaylee was still safe.
She's not far. I know in my heart she's not far. I can feel it.
Posters were hung, a reward was offered, and Casey's parents showed their support.
We still believe firmly that Kaylee's alive. That's where our focus has been from day one.
But suspicion of Casey remained high, and the 22-year-old single mother was charged with murder even before the body of her daughter was discovered in December.
There have been significant skeletal remains located.
In addition to finding Kaylee's body, evidence collected at the crime scene reportedly matched items taken from the home where she once lived. In February, more than 1,000 people turned out for a memorial arranged by Kaylee's grandparents.
I'm thankful for everyone that's here today to pay tribute to a beautiful little girl.
Casey could not attend and would not watch, though her parents offered her this message.
Casey, I hope you're able to hear me today. I love you, and I wish I could comfort you right now. I wish I could take away all of your pain and wipe away your tears.
Joining me now for an exclusive interview are Kaylee's grandparents, George and Cindy Anthony, as well as their attorney, Brad Conway. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Good morning, Megan.
I can see on your faces this is so difficult, so thank you very much for being here. Most people don't think of it this way, but you have suffered two losses. Your beautiful granddaughter, Kaylee, was murdered, and your daughter, Casey, was taken from you as well because she went to jail and was charged with this crime. You've had two tragedies in your family.
Yes, we have.
So this is doubly hard for you?
Yes, doubly hard. It is hard.
Do you think that people don't realize that, antagonize you and not realize how much you're suffering?
Yeah, I think sometimes it gets lost that, we've lost someone very close to us, and we have someone else that's hurting, and we miss her dearly, too.
And she must be especially hurting now because the latest development in this case, a little over a week ago, prosecutors decided to seek the death penalty against Casey. There's a big difference between thinking that your daughter may spend her life in prison and realizing that she may even be put to death. What was that realization like for you?
We can't think about what's to come. She hasn't even had her trial yet. Casey's presumed innocent, and we can't think about that right now.
Will this, you think, George, change anything in Casey's defense? Will she consider now accepting a plea deal to spare her life?
Well, again, this trial is only probably a year away. I don't really believe that her defensive team is going to do anything to jeopardize anything in the future for her. So to answer that question, we're just going to have to wait and see what plays out. I don't believe that's going to happen with her.
Would you encourage her to do that?
No, absolutely not. I don't think Casey would take a plea deal. Casey's not going to admit for something that she hasn't done.
How are you so sure? Why do you say with such conviction that she didn't do this?
We love our daughter. We stand behind her. We know what kind of mother she was.
Is it because you love her daughter that you need to believe this, or because you believe unflinchingly that it's not possible that she did this?
I don't think it's possible for my daughter to hurt anyone, and she wouldn't definitely hurt her own child. I mean, my gosh, I've seen the love every single day that she had for her, and how she took care of her being with us. So, she wouldn't hurt her.
But Cindy, your first instinct when you called 911 was to say, quote, "It smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car." When you take that plus all the evidence that prosecutors say they've gathered, it doesn't bode well for Casey.
No, Maggie, those are issues that are going to come up at trial, and they're anxiously awaiting that. And there's been so much pre-trial publicity that's going to affect the ultimate outcome and her ability to get a fair trial. So the questions that have to do with the statements that they gave, they want to wait, and they want to tell the truth in front of a jury and let a jury decide.
But people will want to know why we should believe that Casey didn't do this when there is so much evidence. What do you say to those people?
You know, again, she's presumed innocent. You know, I think the truth will come out at trial. And that's what we have to wait for. You know, the defense is going to do their job. We're confident that they're going to do their job. And, you know, they'll be able to see for themselves that it's, you know, there's more to it.
Yeah. There is what has to be an excruciating question for any parent, but I'm sure you've asked yourselves the question in the course of this. If she did commit this crime, should she be punished because whoever killed Kaylee deserves to be? Or would you like to see leniency because she's your daughter?
Again, you know, we want the truth, you know, but again, we have to wait for everything to come out in trial.
Prosecutors will try to use some of Casey's own words and actions in the trial. They'll say, even though she believed that her daughter had been taken by a babysitter, she didn't call you guys in a panic and say, Mom, Dad, look what happened. She didn't report Kaylee missing. Cindy, do you find her behavior odd?
You know, I don't understand what happened. I don't know what happened. And again, you know, I think we'll probably learn a lot more, you know, as time goes on.
But have you had a chance to ask Casey why she didn't report Kaylee missing?
Yeah, she was afraid. I mean, that's the answer. She was afraid.
What was she afraid of?
She's, you know, I can't answer that right now.
But she told you she feared for what, her life, Kaylee's life, both?
She feared for all of our lives.
What about you, George? In those 30 days that they were missing, did you ever, I know that at one point you confronted Casey. What did you say to her?
The only time I really confronted Casey was when I saw her again on July 15th. I mean, I just wanted to know where she's been, and what she told me is what she told Cindy, you know, also.
That she was afraid?
She's afraid.
And at that point she said she believed that Kaylee was still alive?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you, Cindy, you had never gone more than 2 days without seeing Kaylee, and yet you didn't report her missing until 30 days later. Why is that?
Because she was with her mom. And I believed that, you know, she was with her mom. And I've never had a reason not to trust Casey with Kaylee. You know, Casey made Kaylee her priority. And it was very evident, anybody that ever saw Casey and Kaylee together, that Kaylee was number one for Casey. So I never had a reason. I mean, Casey was Kaylee's mom. Kaylee belonged to her. I'm just a grandmother. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of grandmothers that don't know everything about their grandchildren. Just because she lived with me doesn't mean that, you know, Casey wasn't in charge of Kaylee.
Even though there had been, and this is well documented, times when she had lied to you, you never once thought something is not quite right with the story she's telling us?
No, there was never a red flag until July 15th.
This is going to be a very difficult question, but when they finally found Kaylee dead, a quarter mile from your house, can you tell me what went through your mind, George?
Sorrow, didn't want to believe it. Still have a hard time coping with that. I really do. Know that my granddaughter's no longer here. That's hard.
Yeah. You think about her every single day?
Every single day.
Every single day. Every single day. I mean, we can't walk around our home without thinking of her. Waking up in the morning and walking out and seeing a photo of her, or hearing her little voice.
Yeah.
You know.
Driving in the car, listening to a song.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things. You know, just walking outside, looking at the stars at night. I mean, everything. And, you know, this was our year to do more with her because she was getting older. I mean, you know how it is when they're toddlers. And she was the perfect age to, you know, take her, you know, places and that. And it's very difficult.
A little more than a month after she was found dead, George, you had a very difficult moment. You almost took your own life. You ready to talk about that now?
I can talk some about it. I mean, to try to keep your family together no matter what. to have so much put on you every single day, to be scrutinized, to have people come at you in so many different directions, like our protesters at our house and stuff. All that weighs on you after a while. I mean, to think how they tried to destroy my wife, tried to destroy my son, came after my daughter, said negative things in such a way that I'm going to protect my family no matter what, and got to the point on that one day that there's just so much a person can take. I mean, sure, that was the wrong direction to go in, and I know that. And I want to talk to more people about that kind of stuff. You can't give up. Even though the days get very hard for you, there's still other ways. There's people to talk to besides your own family, but people you can reach out to and talk. They're going to be there for support to help you.
All right, George, Cindy, thank you very much. Brad, thank you for coming as well.